why? Very two special persons celebrated their birthday back to back. Yes, yesterday was Choma Innocent, my baby, my princess, was her birthday. And today is Ikami Judah's birthday. Happy birthday, Judah. I wish you guys long life and prosperity, wisdom beyond your years. As in the kind of grace that I pray that God encompasses in your life. Amazing, amazing grace. October is a very special month, and to have very special people celebrate their birthday back to back. It just tells you how beautiful, how amazing, how coincidental life can be. Actually, Choma's birthday was yesterday, and she was marking a milestone. She was marking the third decade, and today is Judah's birthday. I must tell you the truth that we're happy right here on VOP 90.3 FM. We're celebrating them. We're saying happy birthday to them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Political Spotlight, where we get to talk about topical issues across Nigeria's socio-economic and political landscape. Basically, today we're focusing on the politics angle of issues, and very important as well, we want to look into some of the issues that maybe we haven't thought deeply about. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. There are some things that occurred a few days ago which actually rattled the nation, but we want to look at the political angle to these issues. What exactly could this have been? Could it have been a conspiracy? Was it deliberate done to make it seem like there was a problem, but there was in actuality there was no problem. There was just something that the presidency wanted to do, and they needed a cover up. They needed something so there'll be no questions asked, nobody will say anything. Well, we know how things work, and we know how politics is. Things are actually getting quite tensed up, and 2026 is already getting very close. So obviously, most of the concentration is on political strategy ahead of 2027. The Upper West Congress seems to be, let's just use the word wrapping up. There are talks about some internal issues in some of the states within the APC, but you know how they know how to do their things. It doesn't get out of proportion. They have a way of resolving things. But then this is what happened. A few days ago, Sahara reporters released that there was a coup attempt, and that was the reason why the military parade during the Independence Day parade couldn't hold. Now, Nigerians were bothered that, oh, really? We thought that and all of a sudden change in the itinerary of the Independence Day, where the military parade could not hold, was basically because there was also another program which they felt was better or more grand than the military parade. But later we heard that possibly because of that coup d'etat, that was the reason why that particular parade could not hold. Now, guess what happened? The military came out to tell us after we heard this report, we circulated for almost more than 24 hours, that there was no coup attempt, but for whatever reason. But they told us that these officers were disgruntled officers who felt their careers stagnated. And a lot of Nigerians and a couple of political analysts and a couple of persons who actually understand how the system works didn't buy that excuse. So what? For example, I'm a worker and my salary range has been on a particular scale for 4 or 5 years. I've been writing exams, or I've been going for courses, and somehow, possibly because I did not reach the cutoff mark of my courses, so that's the reason why I decided to overtake my administration, create a chaos in the organization I work with. Does it does that excuse actually hold water? But that's what the military came to tell us, that there was no coup attempt. These individuals have been kept in their custody. They're interrogating them, that they only expressed disgruntled because they have been stifled career-wise, and because they've not been able to pass their exams. And is that enough for these individuals to say they want to come together and what you call topple the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Before a coup attempt comes up, there is something always on ground. But guess this is what a lot of Nigerians are wondering. If people are foraging for issues that could emasculate the government, or foraging for issues that will make the government seem as if they're not in control of themselves, and possibly the security architecture that is meant to retain a sense of structure within the administration, or democratic administration, seems not to trust the government, that there is a problem? Or could it be possibly that somebody deliberately planted this either as a trap to possibly see who is leaking vital information from the cabinet of the government? Could it also be that this was deliberately done to shake up the president, to let him know that you have refused to concede to some proposals and you have refused to concede to it, this is what we could do. Or could this possibly be that the government of the day deliberately planted this thing to reshuffle the cabinet so there'll be no excuse, there'll be no talk of, oh, it's the time of the North is you're occupying sensitive positions with your persons. There are a lot of talks concerning this, but then what could be the reason why these individuals were not paraded, they were not disclosed, and they seem to be light-hearted when they told us about these individuals who supposedly wanted to plan a coup? And how come the military tried to make it seem like it was nothing considerable, and then a few days later there was a major shake-up and there was a major reshuffle? Now the government of the day told us that it is within the prerogative of the government to do such things. It's their responsibility. The government of the day knows that insecurity is on the rise, nothing is abating, so the president decided to do what you call a strategic move of reshuffling. But they say there is nothing that politics cannot actually possibly make trend. So politically, there could be some certain reasons why that whole coup conversation came up. Now the question is, was it a coup indeed as was being speculated, a coup that never was? Or did somebody deliberately plant this to create a sense of distraction or diversion? A lot of Nigerians, a couple of persons, were sort of happy for that. And some people were like, oh no, we don't want a coup. Better the worst of Tinubu's government than any form of a military administration. They wanted to gauge the pulse of people. But there were talks about vital information getting out of the government, and they needed to know precisely who is leaking it. So you plant a false information out there. Once you plant the false information, it goes out. You get to know who precisely is leaking the government, and then you do whatever restructuring you need to do. Or it could be that indeed these individuals were caught, somebody snitched, and the government of the day did what they wanted to do. But there were certain persons that were asked, why were they not changed? For example, the National Security Advisor, why wasn't he changed? Why wasn't he reshuffled? Like, being the fact that that was his purview, that was his thing, that was his prerogative. Such a thing is not meant to happen under your watch or within your watch. So why wasn't he changed? Again, these are the conversations I'll be looking into in the course of the day. Meanwhile, the whole situation of Nnamdi Kanu too is still buzzing, and the rearrest of Omoyele Sowore, the political inclination of certain ethnic groups believing that politically certain persons intend to exterminate them, or that the Nnamdi Kanu as an emblem represents something for the southeastern region that has not happened for quite a while. Now the question is the process of agitation the right way to go about it? Has it been the same pattern that has not yielded any fruit? Should there be a re-strategy of how the agitation process for either emancipation or self-determination? Could it be that somehow a movement that had a genuine cause became something that was toxic and turned the Southeast to something else? Or could it have been that certain persons decided to use that voice that a couple of persons termed to be aggressive to destabilize the Southeast and make sure that they do not have any purview whatsoever in the political space? Again, these are conversations that are worth talking about. Now, the National Assembly is reviewing the 1999 Constitution. They're also reviewing the Electoral Act. And one of the major propositions is that elections should no longer hold on February 2027, but rather in November 2026. Now, the big question for the opposition is, are they even ready for that? By next year, June, primaries will begin. Opposition or even the ruling party will decide who will be their presidential candidate, whether it's going to be an open primary or it's going to be a closed-up primary. Whichever the case is, by January 1st, 2026, politics will be the conversation of the day. Now, the thing is, if the opposition seems destabilized, if they seem liquidated, if they seem adulterated, are they ready if indeed it is passed on that by November 2026 there will be a presidential election? All of the cases about political parties that are still in court and they've not been able to resolve it up to now, how will the party put themselves together, do grassroots mobilization, put out their ideas, engineer support specifically from the grassroots, and put in structure across all the 36 states of the federation? Again, these are questions to be asked. So could it be that this is deliberate by the All Progressives Congress as a ruling party to ensure that opposition remains destabilized, and that while they're trying to organize themselves, before you know it's time for the elections and the party has a fell sweep? The People's Democratic Party is also having its internal issues. In fact, you could actually say that the party seems dead. Wike has expressed his disappointment with the People's Democratic Party that he saw this coming, but he's surprised that they didn't see this coming. and he didn't like or doesn't like the fact that things have become the way they are. So what then happens to the PDP's recent convention ongoing? Their case is in court. Before they arrive at a conclusion, will the convention that is meant to hold in November at Ibadan actually hold? If you have Wike doing anything as any form of means to ensure that that convention, if it's going to hold, it will hold in his favor. And if it's not going to hold in his favor, then it better not hold. Then what happens with the PDP as a party? Is it deliberate that the ADC up to now has not really been in the news telling us precisely what they're all about? Possibly trying to give the narrative that maybe somehow the APC has liquidated them or neutralized their effort. Again, these are conversations that have been talked about. But what if Peter Obi decides not to run with the ADC in 2027, especially now in November? He'll be telling us a political party that he belongs. What if he decides not to run with a political party? What if he decides to go with another political party? Would he have the same strand? Would he have the same vigor? Would he have the same adrenaline and push that he had in 2023? Remember that the APC as a political party had made sure that they lock all the loopholes that was created, that certain states were won by the Labour Party. They don't want that to happen again. So will an only Peter Obi as a presidential candidate of whatever political party he intends to declare his intention, will he be able to put down that structure enough to ensure that that election is won by him or anybody that he intends to support ahead of 2027? We're going to be looking into that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be speaking with Mr. Great Emo. He is my analyst this evening. I'll be speaking with him via the telephone. He'll be giving us some insights into some of the conversations we're having this evening. The politics of Nigeria. How interesting is it? Is it toxic? The application of the rule of law in how politics is done, and where does it leave the common man, which is I and you, in all of this? Politics has to do with administration. If administration is dead, but politics is riveted, politics is alive, then what exactly is the sweetness or the interesting aspect of politics? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Political Spotlight. My name is Esther Machuku. We do this audio visual, so kindly go onto your YouTube application and type on your search bar VOP903FM. You will currently see us streaming live there, and you can begin to tell us precisely what you think on the convos that we're having this evening. I'm actually trying to contact Mr. Great Emo, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. Mr. Great Emo is going to be giving us his insights based on some questions, politically speaking, and how it would affect the natural sense of the polity, and how Nigerians are actually ready to focus or not focus if they don't want to on certain permutations that have a reason. Mr. Great Emo, good evening and thank you for joining us on the Political Spotlight today. How are you, sir?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Minister.
It's been quite a while, sir. Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Well, you seem to be skipping quite a bit. Hello?
Network obviously. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. But can you hear me as well? Mr. Great Emo,
Yes,
can
I'm
you hear
hearing
me?
you.
All right, let's start off with this, Mr. Great Emo. A few days ago, we heard about a military coup, and that some set of persons who were disgruntled with the government, but they were rounded up and kept into a detention center undergoing interrogation. Now, the military came and debunked it, but a few days later, possibly 2 or 3 days later, we saw a cabinet shake-up within the military arm, the security arm of the government. Now, it's not bad. We've been complaining about the spate of insecurity across the country, and the shake-up is okay. But here is the thing, Mr. Great Emo. Why now? Could this have been deliberately planted in the public to create some sense of fear? Could it also be that maybe some information from the government is being leaked out and they need to find out who exactly is leaking what? Maybe just to plant something false, because you do know that when it comes to politics, certain information are deliberately put out there as a rumor to feel the pulse of the nation or how people will react to such an information. A couple of people think that the military did not handle that information right. They were so laissez-faire about it. Now, let me ask you, do you believe indeed that certain officers who were disgruntled with the examinations or their career growth and they feel that they've been stagnated, they decided to create a sense of chaos and overthrow the government? Is it possible? Does that funds from the military hold water. If that is the case, why were they not named and paraded when they mentioned? Because at the time the information came out, that was not the time that issue happened. It had happened way before, even before October 1st, which was Independence Day. And that's according to the story we heard on Sahara Reporters. That was why there was no parade on Independence Day. However, there were talks that when it comes to politics, nobody should throw anything under the carpet. What's your take on this?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to your program today again. And first and foremost, let me say that because in any way in the world, everything that has to do with security is usually treated with care. And especially talking about military coup, is a very sensitive matter, especially in a democracy. So first of all,
Hello? Okay, I'm going to have to call Mr. Great Emo via a normal telephone call so that he can appropriately respond to the questions posed to him. I also have right here with me in the studio Mr. Tony Mbata. Mr. Tony Mbata, good evening. Thank you for joining us today.
Good evening. Happy Sunday.
Well done. Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
Ate your rice very well.
Yes, I ate rice today.
I know.
With chicken.
Rice. All right, we're trying to connect with Mr. Great Imo. I was calling him via WhatsApp, but the connection is very poor, so I'm going to try the normal call. In the meantime, I'm sure you heard my question to him. What do you think about it?
You know, anything that concerns security, one should be very careful how you gamble into it. But the APC government
this is not a gamble.
No, I mean anything. You know, it was a security issue, and also alleged. I can't say because the military came out and said debunk it.
But do you think that information was deliberately planted out there? Because
that's what
I'm telling you from the government.
That's what I'm telling you. I don't know why they should call them disgruntled. I don't know, and we don't know what
I mean by disgruntled is that when people begin to complain about the government of the day.
Yes.
Now that disgruntled is what has been out there. That disgruntled is what has been out there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we heard about a coup.
You see, I've told you this before that what APC cannot do does not exist. They can cook anything to achieve what they want to do. These people are planning, you know, this is a government that started planning how to get back to the office as soon as INEC announced the result. So they have all the shenanigans they are doing in order to make sure that they will go back to power. And also they may be thinking that because of the way they are running this country, that maybe some of these military boys will strike. So they can come up with any fictitious claim. Because if it is true, the military would have said it. But they keep saying that there was nothing like that. That means, where is this thing coming from? The answer is that DSS and whatever that can, you know, get people from anywhere that are doing whatever they think they are doing, maybe political opponent to the APC. What are they doing? We should know the
media outlets that released that information was Sahara Reporters.
I know.
No other outlet released it.
I know.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So the talk now
something happened.
The talk now is, could it be that some information was being leaked? Certain press houses or media houses were not meant to have access to it. Somehow you plant a particular information to route out whoever has been distributing certain information that you consider to be quite private. That's one angle. Two, if indeed this was one of the kind of things that could take place and the military came to debunk it, could it also be that that was what meted out the shake-up? Also, is it possible that because the president had wanted to do this shake-up, but he doesn't want anybody ethnicizing anything or questioning the reason why certain persons from certain tribes are occupying this position? So you do this, which precedes what you want to do, and nobody asks questions, because the security of the nation, the security of our democracy is basically what should be considered paramount. Because you recall that immediately he did that shake-up, everybody applauded it. it was actually due with what the state of insecurity in the country. Nobody questioned it. Nobody tried to look into it from a certain prism or lens because of what we had heard about the coup. So again, these are the strategies a couple of political analysts are talking about. Could it be true? Or could it just be that indeed the narrative about the coup was true? The military tried to, downplay it so it doesn't refurbish or give some certain persons the idea of planning something grander in future within this administration.
Yeah, Esther, I'm thinking in that direction. It could be true that there may be a planned coup and the military want to keep it in a cooler so that it will not send a sense of signal or fear to the mind of the government or whatever.
Mind of the government of
yes,
people.
of government of the day. Because government of the day is always jittering. They have did a lot of things to APC government to bastardize the military in the sense that military is no longer the military you can think of and be proud of.
Are you with us? Hello, sir.
Yes, I don't know what.
Yes, the call went off, and then I started calling you a normal call, but you weren't picking, sir. Please go ahead, sir, with your response. Hold on.
Yes, okay, I guess network, but let me quickly make my contribution. What I mean to say is that this is in time, but also it could also be a false flag operation, because sometimes politicians have various many strategies they use in trying to guard the society, including the security and military threats. Are you getting me? If you study dictatorship all over the world, you find that sometimes either when a society is having a war with another nation, some of it are instigated actually to hold the society together, bring the citizens under the umbrella of dictatorship. Sometimes also we have what you call false flag information or operation, whereby you sell this kind of thing because nobody wants to be seen to be undermining democracy, and you don't know whether it's true or not. So everybody start being careful, and especially since they return to democracy in Nigeria, we know that irrespective of the failures of our democracy, we have gone too far that even a lot of our military institutions in Nigeria today, they are fairly democratic. Yes, apart from the politics you see at the top, psychologically the Nigerian military have sincerely have come to understand democracy and maybe appreciate it as much as they will also be members of this military. They may be disappointed as ordinary Nigerians with the failure of leadership in Nigeria. It doesn't necessarily mean that.
Hello, sir. Okay. We're having, I think we're having this network situation has been ongoing for quite a while.
Which is the political leadership in Nigeria.
Mr. Greatimo, we lost you for a bit
this
there.
Network is very
Yes.
Can
I call you back on a normal call? Please, just check your phone. Yes? Hello? Please let me call you back on a normal call, okay? Because I did try to call you back on a normal call. Let me call you back on the normal call. I think that would be preferable to using WhatsApp. Mr. Great Emo there, he's actually speaking with us from Abuja. Unfortunately, we've been having quite an embarrassing moment with the network, which a couple of Nigerians will say we should be used to by now. Mr. Tony, okay, I think he's picked up now. Mr. Great Emo, please kindly continue.
Okay. Sorry for the network. So what I mean, in a democracy, the military have their role, and I bet you that most of the officers we have today who are risen to this top rank, they have experienced with 5 years of volunteer. So I can see that the Nigerian military, despite the political interference in certain cases by the political leadership where the issues of appointments are involved, yes, the members of the military community we are disappointed in the failure of governance in Nigeria as ordinary citizens, but everybody in the military enjoys the military takeover because it's still a government of few people. So, but without having said, I was earlier that it won't be politics of organizing for information operation, which usually are targeted at guarding people because when they spread this kind of narratives, everybody start being careful. Everybody start being careful.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you breaking in between, but we're trying. Go ahead.
All right. Definitely network. So everybody start being careful because it makes everybody want to shrink. Oh, I don't want to be seen as supporting.
Yeah.
Especially where there is voices rising against the failure of governance. And then you bring in this kind of information, people don't want to be talking loudly against the failure of government. They should not be that you push to the so-called coup. So that could also be false flag misinformation operation to guide the people, to guide the opposition from speaking forcefully against bad governance. That one is there.
Sure.
So then, if there were to be coup, from what we are hearing, a group of 15 people who definitely do not command any serious military command. If I read correctly, what the so-called suggests, this person works under an agency literally a bit far from the top military command in itself. He's not commanding major information of the Nigerian army because for you to effectively carry a coup anywhere in the world, there are information that must be in tandem. There are information that must work with you. So the idea that the group of 15 people, with one of them who have been alleged to be they working under an agency that is a bit far from the military, traditional military information to carry out a coup successfully, to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. So I suspect it could also be that some other things are happening which could not be cool because the coup is a very serious thing. So, and maybe also political elite are also pushing their fear. You know, there's what they call projection. And they are also doing they are projecting their fear. So this could be this is the likely scenario too. They want to preempt it. It will not happen. So that people who are disgruntled about the bad governance, failure of leadership, they are complaining in the public space, in the civil space. They may decide to attend some of these. So they preempt it by making it look like it's going to happen. So the only people that are thinking about it is to shrink. The ones that don't want to go that way because it's like, oh, could it be that it is we that are planning that they are talking about? So, but I say, fairly, democracy has survived 25 years. Most of the military top rank in Nigeria are democratic in their psychology. So I don't really fear anything. I don't think.
Right. Okay, Mr. Great Email. Let's look at 2026. By 2026, it will all be about political conversations, basically. Do you think that we have an opposition? Because, again, I was with the political advisor to Atiku Abubakar. He is one of his political strategists on Friday. And he felt very confident that the ADC is working to ensure that structurally they have ground. But we've not been hearing anything tangible. Now, Mr. Peter Obi is also part of this coalition. Amechi is also part of this coalition. Amechi has maintained the same stance that he's credible and more qualified. Mr. Peter Obi has told us that by next month, which is November, they did not precisely say what date he will disclose what political party he'll be running with. Now, we know that his movement, the Obedient movement, have been trying to have structure across all the 36 states of the Federation to ensure that what happened in 2023 is not repeated ahead of 2027. So let's ask this question. We've heard talks that the APC is the one that is in charge of all the opposition. The PDP, the ADC, and all whatnot, they determine, they decide, they dictate the activities of the supposed opposition. If that is the case, then do we even have any opposition whatsoever? But if Atiku and his co are saying that's not what it is, that they have a full grasp of their political party, do we see the opposition being a decisive factor to contest ahead of 2027?
Well, what is important to note that APC is the government of they are doing activities is the public domain, and wherever the president goes, APC goes. So they don't require funds or resources to make their presence available. They have a lot of sitting governors and senators who expend public resources to promote their party directly or indirectly. So you don't expect opposition, especially in a country where winner takes it all. Most of these opposition leaders don't have unlimited resources to go around every day trying to compete in the presence, to have the same presence with the ruling party. But it does not mean that they're not there. Because one thing about the election, we talk about Mr. Peter, he literally came 6 months to the last general election. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? And aside what we cannot explain, which was the so-called LA beach, he created an upheaval. And it didn't have to be 2 years going everywhere, marketing a political party. And he even came on the platform where literally nobody knew. There was no councillor, not a House of Assembly, not a governor. Then he put that kind of upheaval. Even a morning before that election, there might be reason for those who don't like the government today to say, well, I found a reason that it should continue. There may be those who are supporting the government today who are believing that things can still change between now and the time of election, and they will still find out that, oh, this government is just about the next election. For this number of years they have been there, they don't even want to do anything. They change their mind and vote against them. So there is still enough time. But the foremost thing you have even said that the opposition says they are focused on building their structure. And I will encourage them not only to build structure of criminality, but also structure to ensure that their election, the vote that Nigerians will cast, that verdict 2027 is not going to be election. I call it verdict 2027. You say you are going to make electricity available by all means. Is it there now? You say you are going to solve insecurity. Have we had security now? You say you are going to build roads. Are the roads built? You said you were going to do this. You were going to improve the livelihood of Nigerians. What was the inflationary value when you came, and what is the inflation today? What was the Nigeria's GDP when you came? What is the GDP today? What was the GDP per capita when you came? What is the GDP per capita today? If Nigeria's life has not improved since you came to power, the verdict 2027 is for them to speak. So wrapping up all this noise is not what to save the situation, it's whether Nigerians will be ready to what say you should continue. That importantly for the opposition, what they should focus on doing is to put the infrastructure in place to ensure free and fair election, that the will and the verdict of Nigerians stands, whether in their favor or against them. The will of Nigerians must be respected. That is the key thing. Every other thing people are doing, we have experienced Nigeria long enough to know that. The problem is not campaigning. The problem is not you having good manifesto. The problem is not even Nigerians coming out to vote. The problem is not even Nigerians getting their PVC. The problem is not even casting your vote. It's not even believing that you have cast your vote and you can go home and the result with the people you voted for will win or will be announced. The problem is that even the agencies that are conducting elections have remained a disappointment to the Nigerian people. Nigerians don't have problem much with the presidency of today. They don't have problem with the opposition as much as they have in INEC and the judiciary that have lent themselves as instrument to undermine the will of Nigerians and to undermine democracy. So if you are going to be an opposition preparing for 2027, I call it verdict 2027. Great Imo State is valid 2027.
Verdict 2027.
Valid 2027.
All right.
It's going to be valid on INEC, valid on the judiciary, valid on police, valid on the army, valid on the presidency.
Okay. Mr. Great Imo, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has accused the government of President Bola Tinubu of muzzling free speech in the country. This was a statement he made today. He lamented that the government of the president has consistently demonstrated repression of opposition voices and may turn free citizens into subjects if not curtailed. He claimed that Tinubu's administration is steadily declining into a dictatorship and eroding the integrity of the country's democracy, urging all Nigerians and the international community to rise against the attempts by the Tinubu administration to silence opposition voices and freedom of expression. What's your take with Atiku's reaction? Could it be because of how the protest recently was handled, the rearrest of Omoyele Sowore? We spoke with Omoyele Sowore's lawyer, I think, on Friday, and he was able to give us quite a lot of details as to what transpired after they just finished granting him bail. But there are talks that Omoyele Sowore kept using derogatory words at the judiciary, the police. He kept on insulting all of them, and that's one of the reasons why he was taken in. Also, there are talks that the information that was out on his publication, that could be another reason why they want to question him, who his source was. How did that information come about? Who is speaking with him or releasing sensitive details of the government to him? What's your reaction to Atiku's statement concerning the fact that Sowore was taken in after the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest?
Well, it's a good thing that former Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, is speaking out. But I will also say that, truthfully, you can see the government of the day when you read from the media aid like Bayo Onanuga, the tone of their language, they are condescending in their use of language. They are very insultive, abusive, and they speak to Nigerians in a way and manner that they have a sense that we are in a brutal dictatorship, and they want to send fear in the hearts of Nigerians. They weaponize so many things in Nigeria today, and I am very, very concerned that these characters were characters who were rated as Democrats in those days during the time of Nadeko and all of that. Their way and manner of doing things is worse than those who have condemned in the past, and it must not be allowed to go on. And I must also say this to His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, like I will encourage every other person. It is not time just to write notes. It's time to hit the streets. It's time to hit the street because there is systematic gathering of Nigerians. The voices are being stifled. Sometimes, even on social media, when you hear the supporters of this government respond to opinions of people, they speak condescendingly and in a way and manner to threaten their freedom of speech, to threaten people like they're going to kill everybody. You are going to do this. Sometimes they will project even their anger in a way and manner that makes you know that they don't want to entertain the opposition. There is a fear in which they harbor. They harbor fear, and that is not supposed to be in a democracy. They have been accused of even luring and threatening opposition governors using all manner of tools to undermine them, to bring them to join their ranks. But all those can continue to happen. But the Nigerian people, their voices must continue to be heard, and the institutions of government that are supposed to serve the people must not be allowed to die. So I like Atiku Abubakar's role is understandable, but we should go beyond that. They should go beyond that. They should rise up and mobilize their people. Democracy is not sitting somewhere and write press releases.
Exactly.
You have to stand up for it. What the speech? Let's have a protest this media guard protest. You understand me? Let's have it. Just this question. Look, you want young people to be on the street protesting, then you want to go and lead the presidency, answer governor, answer senator, answer president. You must show leadership by taking on this responsibility, including P2B, including Rotimi and Bechi, Rufai, all of them that are in opposition. It is their turn to protest. Bola Tinubu protested so when it was his turn. So if these people are not coming to the streets of Nigeria to lead the protest against the stifling of the voices of Nigerians and stifling of democracy, who should be there? You have seen a lot of time young people come out to protest because they have no presence recognizable, whether nationally or internationally. They get stifled, sometimes they get shot at. But I bet you today, a protest in Nigeria led by people, led by Tito, led by Recruitimi, all of them in one lockstep. A Bola Tinubu will dare not do it. Because these people have followers, and if their followers are right behind them, then the voice will be heard. Look at the opposition voices in many other countries. Are we doing the same thing? You sit in your house and write press releases. People have been on the street protesting when the ruling party, when articles were in power, people they came up on the street. So they should stop telling us the opposition by writing international. Who will come? The EU will come here and lead the protest. Sometimes they are jokers. Some of these young people are just risking their life, trying to even push their career, and they are sitting somewhere. They are strategizing what? You fight and defend Nigeria today for you to lead it tomorrow. If they can't do it, they should go and sit down.
Interesting. A couple of persons have actually told the line of thought that you just expressed here, but there are fears that the opposition is trying to be careful, so they don't say that there's a deliberate plan to topple the government of the day or create a chaotic scene. After all, the previous administration did not really have any upheaval like what is going on with the Tinubu's government. That's what a couple of people think could be the reason why the opposition just decides to stay on. It's 3 years, not up to 4 years, and so maybe they don't want to be that voracious in their attitude with the way they are questioning the government. Now, do you think that there's a stage being set up for a violent 2027 elections? Do you think that already that's the plan with the supposed non-tolerance of opposition in specifically APC-run states?
Well, mine would be an advice to the ruling government, because the intolerance and these condescending voices of government and the sense of entitlement of those in power is a dangerous thing for Nigeria. The way and manner they have continued to hush Nigerians down and to want to provoke people or intimidate them. Let them not leave Nigerians to where a certain people will want to say, this Nigeria really belongs to all of us. It does not belong to you. Nigerians are not serfs. We're not slaves of those in power. The Nigerians are giving government opportunity to see if they can navigate the economic situation, the security situation, away from these doldrums. It does not mean that Nigerians are actually stupid and Nigerians can be taken for granted. No. I bet it is a country of 230 to 240, 50 million people. And very few people are ruling government, and you depend on the barrel of gun that the army, police, and soldiers are holding. If you get to a situation where your countrymen will say, if we perish, there is no government that survives it. It happened in Nepal. It looked like for so many years, many people were silent until that moment when it broke. So government does not benefit by stifling opposition. Government benefits by doing the right thing to move the citizens on their side.
All right. Mr. Agwetimo, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you giving us your time right about now. And obviously, during the course of the week, I would contact you again to give us more insights on issues.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. All right. Mr. Tony Mbata, thank you so much for your patience. Now, let's look at the case of Nnamdi Kanu. We heard that Nnamdi Kanu was attacked by one of the DSS operatives before he was to appear in court on Friday, and that because of that, one of the lawyers was saying, was expressing what happened, that was what was one of the reasons why he was agitated and he wasn't happy about it, and basically what is going on is a deliberate attempt to ensure that whatever form of acceleration to ensure that he's freed is not also on the table. There are also talks that could be a way of politically emasculating the Southeast. The reason why the conversation is on is that if at all there needs to be a political resolution about it, would the Southeasterners be compelled, just because they want Nnamdi Kanu's freedom, to vote for the APC? Nobody cares about your choice, nobody cares about any other person, but it's a trade by barter. If you can ensure that your entire region will vote for me, we can look at the means through which this man will be released. Is it fair to put that kind of pressure on them, just because they want him, that is Nnamdi Kanu, to be released? Also, do you think that there is any plan whatsoever, based on what transpired, the DSS custody before he appeared in court, that it's a means through which they intend to hurt him or assassinate him somehow? What's your take on that?
You see, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is one of the issues that are making Nigerian government to look a little bit, can I say, look like government is not being run by anybody. Okay. The manner in which they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya shows, expose Nigerian government. Sometimes you begin to ask questions if we have people that manage the affairs of this country. Now, and anybody that think that that issue of Nnamdi Kanu is what they're going to use to to intimidate, let me use the word intimidate, the Southeast to vote for any certain government, that thing will not happen. Like when you listen to Mr. Mo, he was telling us that this is a vote for the people and the government. So anybody using Nnamdi Kanu for political gain cannot succeed. Most of the appointment they gave, sometime you told them, and most of them were given in a sense to appeal to Nnamdi Kanu conscience in order to sign some of the documents which the young man refused to append his signature. Now, anybody that thinking that let us kill Nnamdi Kanu, it will solve problem. That person, you are trying to put more problem to this government or government to come, because killing Nnamdi Kanu is out of context. They themselves are afraid that if anything peradventure happen to him, it's going to be a very big problem for this country. And some people were saying that releasing Nnamdi Kanu is a political issue, let us discuss.
That is what a couple of analysts have been suggesting.
Let us discuss
political resolution about it, being the fact that the method with which they've been going about it has not been working. It almost feels like you're deliberately incarcerating somebody and you do not know the way through which you could use the law to make sure that the person is retained there. So a conversation of a political resolution was sought after, if you could recall, during the time Justice Binta Anyako was the presiding justice before she recused herself.
I want to make a point. Yeah, some school of thought have said so.
Not school of thought. A lot of political analysts have suggested that. Justice Binta
But let me
Anyako
tell you, Nigerian government is in a state of fugamuga. Why? Because the manner in which they kidnapped this young man. Look at what happened in the court the other time. That ordinary person was defending himself. He making mess of judiciary.
Ordinary person?
I mean, Nnamdi Kanu is not a lawyer.
Okay.
For him to stand in a court of law to defend himself.
Maybe sometimes the lawyers are not as vigorous
it's to tell you that, and for them to allow him, you see, God is working in a mysterious way.
No, let's not put God in this thing.
Have you ever seen?
Let's look at the political leaning of this whole thing.
I'm coming to that. Okay, we are not going spiritual. Okay, but I know that nature is working in a way that sometimes Nigerian government is confused and agencies of government, they are confused.
You think they are confused?
Yes, they are confused because they went to Kenya and kidnapped this young man. They don't know what to do again. Let me be honest with you. They don't know whether to release him, and it's sometimes ego. Government have this ego system that let people not say that we are burden for them. It's only a rational human being, a rational leader that will listen to the voice of the people, the reasonable voice of the people, to do things right. Because you know that ab initio, Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. And kidnapping him to Nigeria, why are you trying him? Which law will you use to try Nnamdi Kanu? That is a quagmire they are into.
Is it Kalu or Kanu?
Kanu.
Because
So that's the system. That's the problem. So what they are doing is to see a soft landing.
Now let's look at this proposed attack or subjugation before he came to court. We already know that his lawyers have been disregarded. They will try to guide him in some things. He's continuing his case on Monday. He has apparently someone has been sent to all the key witnesses. We heard that he has key witnesses in Ethiopia, US, UK. Even the president is also a key witness for him. If not that the president is, under immunity. Wike had disclosed on Friday during his monthly media charts that why not he would avail himself once he gets a summon. But he has just 6 days to ensure that all of that is concluded. Is it possible that all of the key witnesses he mentioned, some have immunity, some do not, but they are high-profile political persons? Do you think that 6 days is enough to get across to these individuals for them to appear? That's one question too. Some legal experts have said that if these persons do not appear in court as stipulated in these 6 days, they will just basically be contempt of court, and contempt of court doesn't necessarily mean anything whatsoever. So the question now will be for either the court of jurisdiction to give its judgment if it wants to, or nobody knows what else that would take, or there'll be more time if they need to ensure that all his witnesses appear, just like the prosecuting counsel did. In the regard of the attack and his continued stay, do you think that it is a sign of the emasculation of those in the southeast? Could it also be that there are talks that it's because of his geographical location, that's why he's still in there? If he was from possibly the southwest or a Fulani man, it wouldn't have been the way it is up till now.
6 days, the first question may not be enough.
The 6 days is counting already.
Yes, it's counting.
So by Monday, it's going to be remaining 3 days.
Yes, it may not be enough for all the star witnesses to be there, and some of them may not come, and also we don't know what the court will do. But my problem, Esther, is that the judiciary, the system is being corrupt. The system in this country, we know what is happening.
The problem is the judiciary.
The
Which
judiciary,
aspect of the judiciary?
yes, judiciary.
The current court handling his case right now.
They are one. Judiciary, they are one. You can't.
In what way has the judiciary?
Judiciary, we know most of the court cases.
No, we don't want you to generalize. We're being specific with Nnamdi Kanu's case.
Judiciary, both in Nnamdi Kanu case and all the rest. We have seen them giving a conflicting judgment. It's not the first time. So you cannot say one is good, the other one. No, they are the same. And some of them will only talk when they retire from the office. They will not be telling us that Nigerians should do this, the judiciary should do this. When they are on seat of power, they couldn't do it. And also, now, if anybody thinking that he can emasculate the Southeast people, that person is dreaming. He's dreaming. We cannot. Nobody can do that. All these things are political arithmetic, sagacity. They are doing it in order to think that they can enrich themselves. But let us enrich this country, because if the country is enriched, everybody will benefit from it. Because if you focus on somebody, and that person is doing his business, doing things in order to progress, and you are somewhere trying to destroy the person, you are destroying yourself. Because it will take you time to think what you are going to do to this man that is progressing. It will take you time, energy, and also it will also put fear in you. Have you ever seen when you are thinking evil against somebody, or when you hate somebody? You see, when you see that person, your mind will skip. So that is what is happening. Nobody can intimidate the Southeast. Nobody. All these things, we are saying all this so that Nigeria should be great again.
All right. Mr. Tony Mbata, there are talks about the strategy of understanding how the political structure in Nigeria works, specifically for the Igbos. Now, you know that the political fabric, it's unique to just Nigeria. You can't compare it to how it's done internationally. In the US, in the UK, their politics is quite interesting for you to be part of. All of the gimmicks, all of the propaganda, every method is being utilized, but it's interesting, it's engaging, something you want to be, you would love. The strategy being applied by the opposition and the current person in power, how they go about it, it's interesting, it's engaging. The way we do our own politics here is peculiar to us. A couple of persons will say that it's acrid, it's primitive, it's complex. Whichever way it is, the thing is, we're in this country right about now, and since we're here, how do the Southeast understand the political terrain and become part of it. There are talks that the young persons who keep lamenting and complaining about the system should start learning to join the political movement, to join political parties, to form political parties. That's the only way your voice can resonate. That is how you can be part of the Senate, make laws, push laws, saturate the Senate if you do not want the continuous procession of this set of persons at the National Assembly. But others say that the money influence of political parties is a factor that is quite discouraging for a number of youths. But there are talks that you can set up a political party. You don't necessarily need to you can make the doctrine of your political party different. If you in the Southeast feel that you want to be part of the system, you want to understand how it works, start indoctrinating yourself in the political ambience. Be part of it and change the strategy with which you have been speaking, or change the method with which you have been complaining. So is it possible that political education is lacking from those who are coming from that region? Is it possible?
I know I don't belong to that school of thought that says that political strategy is lacking from the Southeast. But the problem ab initio, the British skewed this political whatever to favor some region.
All right.
And no matter whatever you do, it will be as if you are begging or you don't know what you are doing. Okay, let us start from the state creation.
All right.
How many states do we have? That will catapult you to House members and Senate. How many do we have in Southeast and South and Southeast alone? And how many do we have in the North? Now, when you want to pass your own bill, what do you do? And this is what they normally use against us. They will tell you, go and meet your senators so that they can do it. The question I asked them, the developmental project we have in Southwest, Northeast, Northwest, is it not a collective effort of the Nigerian wealth? That is it. So when you skew something against some set of people, it will become difficult for them to gain whatever they are looking for. It will be as if they don't know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. But again, we need to change on certain things.
Okay.
Excuse me. We need to change on certain things, the way we go about some certain things. You know, in politics, it's a game of number and also strategy. And most times, you don't open up what you want to do or how you want to get it. Sometimes you beg, sometimes you lobby, sometimes you shout. If you watch what is happening in Anambra to the Anambra election that will come, you see that Governor Soludo is doing all the needful, what he's supposed to do as a governor to come back. And whatever he's doing, people are appreciating it.
People are appreciating
it. I want to. Okay,
some
majority.
You can't even say majority.
I have asked question when there was issue of this insecurity in Anambra, and he went and formed Operation Udogachi or whatever.
Yes, Operation Udogachi.
You saw how the situation of things was calm, and the Anambrarians, they were happy because he knew that I want to go back if I don't solve the issue of this. But first of all, he went to the churches, he went so many places, began
you normally do that during campaigns.
Yes,
some will do that as well.
Before so that people can receive or accept the security strategy that he's using. So he went about telling people, begging them until when they launched that, and there was calm everywhere for the first time. So in our own case, we need to bend down sometimes, master what other regions are doing. Like the Southwest, they play a game, a very fantastic game in their own. Look at when Obasanjo became the first president in 1999. None of them voted. They voted Olufalaye, whom they think that will be the president of the country. All of them, they didn't vote for Obasanjo. But as soon as Obasanjo was coming back for the second tenure, all of them voted for Obasanjo. And the same thing is what most of them are saying. And why we are telling them, stop saying, this is my own person. What we are thinking about is the good of this country. But you see, the kind of politics they are playing now is that this is our own. People want to be against him. And they're not looking at the generality of the good that will favor Nigerians when somebody that is more credible will be there. They are looking at their own. But it's only the Southeast, the Igbos, that will say, this man is good. is from their place. This man is bad is from my place. So if you are bad from the southeast, they will tell you you are bad. Most of that regions, they don't play that kind of politics. They cannot play that kind of politics. You know, when Buhari was there, all the things Buhari did, they never complained. They never cried.
Okay.
They were saying, Baba, continue. Now, when Baba is no longer there, they are the people crying more than others. That's why I say no, they should wait. They should wait until the West finish their term. Okay. So, I think the Igbos or the Southeast should learn that kind of politics to protect our own.
Really?
Yes. Because we are look at when Chibo Okedibo, Ivan Enwene was there. Who are the people that supported him? Who are the people when Ivan Enwene? That's why when they asked Aton Zeribe, they said, you are the person that was, fighting for Ivan Enwene. But now, why are you the person fighting against Ivan Enwene? He told them, he said, I know my friend or my brother to be a good footballer. But if you put him to go and play handball, I don't know him of a good person that will play handball. I will be against him. That was what Aton Zeribe said. And an Igbo man will look at your face and say, my brother, this one you are doing, you are not doing it well. But other regions, they don't do it. So we need to learn that politics.
Of diplomacy.
Yes, we need to learn it.
Not to be too blunt. Some people don't like it when you're too blunt.
No, they don't.
Okay. All right. Now, there was an early morning raid at, let me not call it raid, demolition at Oworonshoki again. So the reason I know we're discussing a political spotlight, but this is quite imperative to discuss because it happened. So apparently, the resident raised a fresh alarm because the bulldozers returned late Saturday morning thereabout, very early, to pull down more houses in the area. The operation continued into the early hours of Sunday, despite widespread protests and resistance. Apparently, eyewitnesses disclosed to journalists this morning that at least 2 bulldozers were deployed for the exercise, accompanied by a large number of police officers. According to the residents, over 50 armed policemen fired tear gas through the night to disperse those attempting to resist the demolition. They claimed the operation had not ceased as of early Sunday. More than they didn't sleep at all. They came back in the night after they stopped them in the morning, and then they continue with the demolition. Some of the residents have accused the Oba of Oworonshoki, Oba Babatunde Saliu, of supporting the demolition to reclaim waterfront lands allegedly meant for private development. However, the monarch denied any involvement in it, stating that he too had previously suffered losses from a similar government-led exercise. And as of Sunday morning, residents said the demolitions were still ongoing, leaving scores of families homeless and in shock over what they described as a coordinated night assault on their community. I really don't know if the community members were told about the demolition, but apparently it seems like the demolition is continuing. And the last time the residents of that area protested the lockdown, the 3rd Mainland Bridge, we thought that the conversation was ongoing to resolve the matter, but another one has happened. What could this mean?
It's that, you see, when you have people, first of all, why must we be at night that such an exercise will be taking place when people are sleeping? That's what INEC did when Nigerians were sleeping. In the middle of the night, they announced the result. Yeah. That was what really happened. In the night, Judas Iscariot went and betrayed Jesus and was... No, I'm not bringing church. I'm telling you, most of the things that happen in the night is something deadly, something that is very devastating, like something that put people...
Witches and wizards.
Yes, I don't believe in witches and wizards.
You don't believe?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Really?
But, yes, I don't believe it. Okay. But most of the things that... Because if it is in the day, people will know what you are doing. That will tell you that the government that is... embarking on such an exercise, they are not doing it right. And also, the essence of people having Oba or Eze is someone that will speak for them. That they accuse the Oba. Oba say, before I have suffered such a losses before. What did you say? How did you protect your people?
No, there are fears that sometimes whenever these investments want to take place, they approach the Oba.
I know, I'm coming.
They give them
I'm trying to let you know that the Oba cannot deny what is happening. That he is not aware of it. Because you have not defended your people in such a humiliation. What did Oba say? The first time happened. The second one, you are telling us. You see, government
Mr.
of
Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, has stated that no court authorized the Lagos state government.
they have been doing it. Look at the one that happened. They do anything they want.
Or the Lagos State High Court issued an interim order stopping further demolition of properties in parts of Orunshoki after complaints by affected residents who denied receiving any compensation.
That first one.
Justice Balogun granted a restraining order against the respondents and their agents or contractors, prohibiting further demolitions or the creation of third-party interest over properties located on Ojileru Street, Ososa Extension, and Toluwalashe Street within the Itesiwaju Ajumoni Community Development Area. So Falana alleged that the Lagos State government demolished no fewer than 100 properties in Oworonshoke despite the court restraining order. Could it be that's why they came in the middle of the night?
It could be because they obey the order they want to obey. The court order they want to obey. Because the ideology or what they are thinking is that now they are at the helm of affairs, so they can do whatever they want to do. That's why when Ms. Timo was saying, he said, it's no longer sitting down reading your press conference. No, because injustice is injustice.
Okay.
This thing is not good. It's not good.
Okay.
In logic, you cannot say it's good or it's bad. It's good or it's bad. So people should no longer sit down and watch government doing whatever they want to do. Remember that this government we are talking about, we gave them our sovereign power. We vote them. We vote them, give them our power to take charge. And we can say no when they are doing things that are not supposed to be done.
Okay.
So people should not be sitting down lamenting. There are some protests you put. Let them kill everybody. People will die. People will survive.
For them to protest.
No, yes. It's their right. When you think that this thing is not going...
But the residents did protest. And the state government said they were going to speak with them. They even did another one by going to Ikeja to
they should not stop. They should not stop. There are kind of protests you will give.
But they have done that.
They should keep doing... Look at Aba. If you read that Aba...
Mr. Tony Mbata, they have protested. The first time they locked down the third mainland bridge along the Oworonshoki axis. The second time they went to Lagos State House of Assembly to express their disgruntled. And at the dead of the night, they came around again. So the question is, do these people listen? Do they understand the plight of the people?
They don't.
And if there is a restraining order, there should be no further demolitions for now. But you saw them come in the middle of the night to still demolish properties. I don't know what.
Yes, can I ask you a question?
Don't ask me.
It's a general question. When you are sick and the drug was given to you, you drink, you take one. Will you leave the others because you're a little bit relieved? You finish your dose. So you can't say because I did a protest today, I will not do it tomorrow. These people, they came in the middle of the night. So what do? You fold their arms. And then you see there are certain things we can't say on air.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is that people should put up resistance in some of these shenanigans that is happening. If we don't, my people used to say in Igbo Ade that if the first son is not crying like a mad person, they may not contribute money to find a wife for him. If you don't put resistance to these things, it will not stop. Don't be surprised that somebody somewhere is ready to buy those things, giving money to make sure they have those places. So when the whole thing will finish, that person will go there and pay them whatever they want. An individual. And tomorrow you will see buildings. Most of the things you think, you say, oh, so money can do all these things. So they should put up resistance to make sure that these things will not. And the obas or people or chief should support their people when they are crying. When they are crying, you cry with them. That's the essence of.
Do you think in this era they actually have?
They don't. They
do
don't.
anything.
They don't.
If they try to speak on behalf of their people. If the government wants to do what they want to do, they go ahead and do what they want to.
No, let them speak. But most time they are not speaking because they are eating from both sides.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take your reaction right about now. It's actually 7:57 p.m. and we'll have a program coming up very soon. So I would like to take as many calls of yours as possible. The number to call is 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello?
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Hello?
I can hear you. What's your name? All right, 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Guys, good morning.
Hello, what's your name? Okay, I don't know what's going on with the network. Oh. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Good evening. What's your name?
IK,
IK, calling from where, please?
calling from K2.
All right, IK, please go ahead.
About this Mazin Namdi case issue, they should just allow this man to go. Just allow him to go. So there will be peace. They should just allow this man. I've been killing this man for long. If anything should happen to that man, there will be reaction. Oh. Something will happen. They should allow this man to go. It's quite long.
All right, thank you very much. 08036929933. That's the number, and the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. That's the WhatsApp number to send your messages to. Hello, good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello, my name is Cook Kenneth, the first caller.
You're not the first caller. Or somebody has called. Good evening.
Good evening. This is my first call to.
Okay, first time. Okay, welcome, sir. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I don't like this in our program.
Thank you so much, sir.
My sister. The problem is that they should leave that man. You don't have any problem. Government should leave that man so that he will stay in peace. So
Okay.
that's
All
my
right.
contribution.
Thank you very much. 08036929933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Oh, turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Francis is my name, and this is my first time to call.
Oh my God, Francis. Welcome to VOP family. How are you, sir?
Oh, bless God.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Amorofe.
All right, Mr. Francis, kindly go ahead.
Yeah. Concerning the issue of the canon, and of course, the canon is an intelligent man to actually defend itself. By the Constitution, everyone has the right to defend it. So I say either by the legal professional
Okay.
or by myself. And people have been saying that the canon doesn't understand the terms and the technical in law. But if you look at what the canon did Thursday, you will definitely know that the canon is even more than a lawyer. He just only having to qualify anything that is more than a lawyer. He was intelligently challenging the judge and some other things. So the issue is this. Since this case, we have discovered that no evidence to prove that Kano really did what the federal government said he has done.
You can't say so. The case is still in court, so we're based on when he's able to submit or the conclude on.
The Federal Appeal Court and the Supreme Court also discharged him unacquitted.
Yes.
Saying that they could not find anything on him. That even the court in Nigeria allowed the jurisdiction to also try the Kano. Also, if you come to look at it very well, it's just that the federal government would just want to use it as a beauty rack just because of personal selfish interest. You understand what I'm saying? So I believe that the Kano will definitely be set free, and by the grace of God, because he did not do anything. He was just a freedom fighter. So I'm not a Igbo man, I'm a Benin man, but I also want to tell you that what this government is doing to Muslim Nigerians and the Kanu, it is very, very, very uncalled for. And of course, it's not supposed to be happening in this democratic era. Very, 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 very mortified. I sound very downhearted and lugubrious each time I see this government of OPC. The way they treat people, the way they cut hardship over the life of people, and this is becoming so, it's becoming so critical to actually consider. So I believe that God is going to intervene on this issue very soon by the grace of God.
All right, thank you very much for calling. I sincerely appreciate your input. 08036929933 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. All right, 08036929933 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. All right. Hello, how are you? Good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, sir?
Hello?
I can hear you. What's your name?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What is your name? Okay, I think this person cannot hear. 080-3692-9933 and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther, good evening.
Good evening, welcome. How are you?
I greet, is it Prince Chilakabe? Who is in the studio, sir?
Mr. Tony Mbatan, I spoke with Mr.
Mr. Tony, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
God bless you, sir.
Bless you too.
Your analysis superb. Esther, what concerns me this evening, I know by the grace of God, Nnamdi Kanu will be released. What concerns me, what I want to discuss is the creation of this state. The new one as proposed by, I think they were in Lagos. Was it yesterday? I've been went to discuss about the issue. So now, all this while the southeast has been sidelined. You understand? 5 states. While in other part of the country, some parts have 6, some have. So it's not supposed to be like that. If you want equity, even the Kwara state, I have said it over time that the Kwara state that Abacha zone to the north center is wrong. Kwara state is a Yoruba land, okay? So you remove Kwara from Yoruba north central. Even this Kogi, there are many Yoruba people in Kogi state. You say it's north central. I don't know what Abacha understand. It's not left for the president. He is educated more than Abacha to correct all these things. These are things that are really marginalizing other zones in the country. You understand? It is high time he correct all these things. So I'll be very happy if an additional state is created in the southeast. Okay? Thank you very much, man. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Robert, for calling. I sincerely do appreciate. 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Good evening, welcome. What's your name?
Good evening, Queen Esther.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. My name is Elder.
All right, Elder, calling from where?
I greet gentleman Tony.
Good evening, sir.
I greet him.
All right.
I normally like to listen and hear the opinion of people.
Okay.
But what struck my mind calling you this night is when Tony was about analyzing things, you said you should not bring spirituality into the matter. I want to tell you frankly that the spirit controls the physical, both those in the occult, both God in that, because Bible told me that God is the head of principality and powers. So what we have suffered in the hand of these people for the past 2 years now, 2-3 years, has never happened before.
It didn't happen during Buhari's time. I thought Buhari's time was
Buhari
something
killed
else.
and this man is buried.
I'm telling you that if Buhari, we can give Buhari 80% what we are passing through, that this government come and turn everything upside down, upside in the case that...
Are you saying this government is worse than Buhari's government?
No. Allow me to speak what the Spirit is leading me to tell you.
Okay.
I want to tell you that as a matter of fact, God has been keeping quiet. Not that God don't know what is happening in this country. Many of people, God's people are passing through hurdle. It's only the Togri, Daburos, that are benefiting in this government. I am telling you frankly that God is not quiet, He's not silent.
Okay.
One day the spiritual will control the physical.
Okay,
we have somebody like Idi Amin. We have somebody like whom again will I mention? The
Thomas Sankara.
Dictatorship, and dictatorship will have to have an end. We are having dictatorship leadership in this country. It will soon end. That is the summary. What I want to tell you. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I think in Burkina Faso, the leader there is trying to recreate the era of Thomas Sankara. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Esther.
Joval, thank you so much for waiting.
So
like you're not
today,
just talking.
You decided to pick our calls, Esther.
No, Joval, it's not like that. Haba. Don't do
I'm not happy.
Don't do me like Mabinu.
You don't pick our calls again. I greet Mr. Tony Mbas.
Good evening, sir.
Where is our Mr. Lawal, the regular man?
Lawal went to...
Well, Lawal traveled. He traveled actually.
Okay, I know he was listening.
Yeah,
Mr. Lawal, good evening.
traveled.
The barrister that used to come on Sunday. Good evening.
Yeah.
Esther
Sir?
and Mr. Tony.
Yeah.
I wonder why this government is not doing things properly. Are we talking about creation of states when the states that are already in existence are not viable? How many of them can pay their salaries? No. It is true that Southeast needs one additional state to equal the other states. If you do just that one, that should be okay. See, except this government will say that let the states themselves find or make whatever thing they will make and remain to central. That is what we call true federalism.
Okay.
If we are not going back to true federalism, if it is that after creating the states, they will go to Abuja and be waiting for, or is it the cookie jar? Then we are wasting our time. Because you see them parading big cars on the road. The governors are doing nothing. So if you create extra states, then you need to create commissioner of police in those states, and the federal government will send them pay their salaries, create parastatals. Why is this government like this? See, we are talking about good governance. 2 years into your election, you are campaigning for returning into office when people are hungry. Please, excuse me, do the right thing first. We need this country to be functioning. When the country is functioning, then if you create states and there's true federalism in the states, foreign companies can come into this country and reside in any state and be generating the cookie jar.
Very true.
Good evening.
I want to say something. This creation of state,
Yeah.
this young man, gentleman talked about. All we need now is only one state from the southeast. Any other additional state, like he rightly said, most of the state cannot pay salary. Do you know what they do? They only wait for allocation.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Welcome, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Happy Sunday.
Mr.
What's your
Torin
name?
Batadaru.
Hello?
My name is Sam. I'm calling. Hello.
Yes, Sam. Calling from where, sir?
I'm Wadofi.
All right, Mr. Sam, please go
I
ahead.
just want to add something to what the previous caller said about not mentioning God or spirituality. You see, God is the head of every government. Every government that was allowed by God. If you read in the book of Daniel chapter 3, when God exposed to Nebuchadnezzar the kingdoms, the empires that will rule the world, even up to the Romanian empire and the European, that stems from the Roman. Emanated from the Roman Empire, the 10 kingdoms that emanated from Rome. You see that God has bring about everything about the human government, and the problem that man keep having up to tomorrow is that man keep excluding God from his plan and purpose. Therefore, God allowed man to get to his limit. Then that is when, if you read that place, you discover that God said that in the end of this kingdom, that Daniel saw that a stone was cut without a hand, and that stone smoothed all the statue of the empire that ruled the world.
Did you study theology?
Of course, yes.
Okay,
so the stones, smooth the statue and then destroy of them and become a mighty, kingdom that rules. That's the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Okay, so we can never take away the spirituality from the reality.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Thank you so much for calling. 0803692 9933 0803692 9933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Yes, good evening, ma. What's your name?
My name is Joy. I'm calling from Munshi.
All right, Madam Joy, welcome. Please go ahead, ma.
Okay, what I want to say is concerning Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay, ma.
I don't understand what this our present government is doing. We saw the right justice on the air, yet they refuse to do the right thing. But we are praying that one day God will show them this, and then the Kalu will surely be out from there.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, man. God bless you. 08036929933. 08036929933. And the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. That's the WhatsApp number to send your messages to. Hello, good evening. Turn down the volume of your radio.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I know you cannot hear me, but it's Joe from Janaki speaking.
I can hear you. Go ahead, John.
If you want to make that correct call, I'll let you say about that tweet about created any region. Before Abacha took over government, those regions are already northern region. Ignoring Kwara is a northern state, Kogi is a northern state, so you should just create a confusion here. Thank you.
All right. Okay, that's all you called to say. All right. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. All right. 08036929933. That's the number to call. Hello. Hello. All right. Hello. Okay. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. What's your name?
Hello, good evening.
Your voice is low. Your voice is very low. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Sam. I'm calling from Songwater.
Your name is Samuel, calling from Songwater.
Samuel.
Simon, calling from Songwater.
Samuel.
Samuel, right?
Samuel.
Okay, go ahead. Please go ahead.
I want to comment on these people. Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello.
All right. Hello, sir. Go ahead. You want to comment on what? Hello? Okay. Your network is very poor and your voice is very low. 08036929933. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Edwin.
Hello?
My name is Edwin, calling from Ebeda.
All right, Edwin. Please go ahead.
My greeting to your analyst.
All right. Thank you.
I really appreciate and enjoy your program always. I'm a POP fan.
Thank you so much, sir.
You see, what I'm trying to say, my name is Namdi. The man you call on phone, the analyst you call
Mr.
on
Great Emo.
Hello?
Your voice is very low. Very low.
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, you said the man I spoke with on the phone, the analyst I spoke with on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened to him?
Yeah. He has said everything.
Okay.
Put up in the echo of the government. They know that this man didn't do anything. Maybe it's shame what people will say about them. What Nigeria will say about this matter. Somebody who doesn't do everything. Do you know what it costs? It takes Nigerians to go to Kenya and bring Nnamdi Kanu, kidnap him back to Nigeria. And yet they didn't find anything against him. That is one. Two, Nigeria, we always call God. God will fight for us. God will fight for us. Israel, we are surrendered by enemies. And they are fighting their battle and moving forward. Kenya, didn't they believe in God? Yes, they fight with their politicians. Many of them run away. When Nigeria were jubilating out, Nigeria matter will be like Kenya. I told them that Nigeria, we can only pass like dogs. Desert dog, we can never buy it because of the bad governance.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let me take some messages. Good evening to all VOP family, home and abroad. Adewale from Oshodi. Matter of fact, what this APC administration cannot do, it doesn't exist. But why all former retired military, judiciary, and president keep silent while APC government are destabilizing and capturing Nigeria's democracy? Just imagine how the government are taking souls of Nigerian gallant soldiers, playing politics, and all head of Nigerian military keep quiet because they are benefiting from the incompetent failure of the administration demolition. Now they're showing audio money of 70,000 naira through Atlantic, Keystone, and Zenith Bank. Now releasing their name, BVN, and passport. Is now all Nigerians should be wise and not negotiate their future. Okay, you didn't tell us your name. Kindly next time put your name, okay? Good evening, Esther. All the lizards are laid down. We don't know the ones who has turned belly. All the propaganda and lies from the ruling party. We Nigerians are seeing everything from them as propaganda and lies as they normally do. That's why Nigerians don't believe such info from them. When the military has continued saying that there is nothing like coup, they may release such info, put fear on the military, or a way to silence opposition parties. There's no any amount bitten from the DSS officials to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that will make him to succumb to the injustice against him. This is from Iwoha Ikechukwu. Okay, good evening, Esther, Mr. Tony. I loved your analysis, but it's been fun of you saying Igbo cannot be intimidated. Who is intimidating Igbos instead of Igbo leaders to caution Kanu when he was creating IPOB and fighting for Biafra? You people are supporting him, and it has backfired now. You guys are ranting saying Igbos cannot be intimidated. That's why I love Yorubas. When Sunday War started, nobody supported amongst the Obas, political leaders, and everything went down. Please accept your faith, please. From Mr. Olawale from Ejugu, Day, Ogun State. Okay, I bet you APC will lose the vote of those affected in the demolition come 2027. No reasonable person will vote APC in the next election. You will be shocked. Trust me, my Nigerian people are funny people. Mr. Blame British, what is true? You think the military would tell you some soldiers planned a coup? When they killed people during NSAS, when military barracks was attacked by terrorists, did they not deny? I pity anyone who takes anything they say serious, and I don't understand how changing service chiefs would translate to governance using it as a strategy to cover up some act as to unsuspecting public applauding them for changing service chiefs. A change of service chief would always be due to security issues, be it coup or terrorism, or not to satisfy pedestrian tribal public perception narrative. It's not petty that it has become a boring song to say the APC has its foot in all opposition parties. Logically, does it even make sense? Is that not attributing some kind of undeserving smartness to the APC, making the opposition seem weak, useless, and incapable of organizing themselves, let alone fit to be in any party or dare to have the capacity to vie for any political position to govern a complex country? Tay, I have been telling you, come to this station, you have refused. You are typing English for me, Abby. Well done, okay, excellent evening, presenter. I totally support what Mr. Imo said concerning the opposition party. Truly, 2027 is going to be a very clear and powerful judgment on the APC. We should remember that silence gives consent, and also silence is the greatest weapon to defeat and destroy an enemy. Francis from Amuwadov in Lagos. Mr. Tony Bata and others like him needs to be educated on this controversial issue of the manner with which Kanu was brought to Nigeria. Yes, the method may be unconventional, but when anyone is accused of terrorism-related crime, the approach to the suspect's arrest embraces international collaboration, and that's where the Interpol comes in. Therefore, there was nothing strange or illegal in the manner that Kanu was apprehended. That's why the killing of Osama bin Laden in Pakistan by the U.S. force was never contested. Terrorism is classified as international crime, just like plane hijack, war crimes, etc. Kanu's lawyers filed a no-case motion based on the way he was arrested in Kenya. Appeal court granted the prior and ordered his release, but the prosecution appealed to the Supreme Court, and in its wisdom, the Apex Court set aside the earlier order and ordered that the trial should commence, and that's what is on now. So, if Kanu is truly innocent, ultimate judgment will prove it. Let's just be objective about the matter. From Yemi in Lagos. Okay, Yemi. Good evening, Esther and Mr. Tony Bata. God bless you all for what you do. This is Eweke from Isolo. Concerning the demolition going on around Oworishuki, there is something quite sinister about it. However, I can tell you that the government is fully aware of everything happening. This administration has continued to show signs of being anti-people and dictatorial in its actions. A detachment of police officers were deployed to the site, clearly showing that the operation came directly from the authorities. The question then arises, why carry out demolitions at night? Okay, this is Lanre from Michigan. Lagosians, wake up from your slumber to vote out APC government out of Lagos. Tinubu has made Lagos a private business center. Cage Lagosians with agboroism, system of government. This is Lanre from Michigan. All right, Lanre. Good evening, Esther. Don't believe anybody telling you that Nigeria's problem is spiritual. Please, let's stop deceiving ourselves. Our problems are politically motivated. If we want it to end, it will end in 30 days. Esther, please help us talk to APC thugs in your YouTube page to be coming down. Chike from Akpakpa. Who are the ABC thugs? I beg. Bonsoir, Esther Wachuku, Mr. Tony, but I'm Engineer Oji Kalu from Benin Republic. Please, Esther Wachuku. Okay, Mr. Tony Bata is trying to express his feelings to teach we listeners. All right, thank you very much. God Almighty bless Prophet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, good evening, VOP. Please let the federal government release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That gentleman is not a criminal, but the people's freedom fighter. Besides, I wonder why more states are being considered for creation. For now, the only zone in Nigeria that needs a state to equate others is the eastern part. Anything apart from this is not ideal. It will be more political in sense. Agege from Agege. Good evening, VOP. All right, good evening. I would like to quickly correct a misconception on the issue of state creation. Northwest Zone already has 7 states, which is the highest so far per zone. So additional 6 states is proposed to balance it. Therefore, Southeast is to have 2, and other 4 zones get extra 1 each. However, state creation is not the solution, but return to regional federalism through restructuring of Nigeria. Thank you. What is your name? You didn't tell us your name. Good evening. Most of the traditional leaders in Lagos were enthroned by the politicians and also they benefit from them, so they can't question their actions. Now the demolition has gone round. It's no longer Igbo demolition. Wonder how APC will still go to those areas to campaign. From Chief Udo. Alrighty. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello?
What's your name? Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. My name is Innocent. I'm calling from Member.
Your name is what, sir?
Innocent. I'm calling from Member.
All right, Innocent from Iba. Please go ahead, sir.
Please.
Hello? Your network is very bad, Innocent. It's so bad. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, madam. How are you doing?
I did, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Ike Godwin.
Turn down the volume, sir. Turn down the volume of your radio.
Madam, I want to talk about this state.
You haven't turned down the volume of your radio.
I have.
Yes, no, I can still hear myself. Turn down the volume of your radio. Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, good evening. Go ahead. You were saying?
Yes, I'm talking about the state creation.
All right, go ahead.
The state creation is very important something in Nigeria.
Okay.
People need it. If you say the Southeast to have 1 state, I'm not going against that, but it's the other producing communities. You know, the time the militants rise up against government neglect in that area. That is where the government have resources. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So this is when they need more states.
Okay.
If it needs to give them more states, let the government teach them and do these things. These people are suffering. At least some of us need to go there and see what is happening. People are suffering that area. You see, there's no water, there's no good school, there's no road. People are less. So government should now, APC government should do something about it. Very, very important. Because this, when the rates rise up, the oil production came to nothing or low or nothing. And now they have cooled down because government promised them anything. They are not doing those things now. Or they are doing little or nothing. But now the government should do something about this creation. They need more state and local government. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for calling. Thank you. So today is not like evening rush day. We have a program coming up very soon. Mr. Tony Bata, what's your final take?
My final take is that Nigeria must be great.
O'Shea, I like that prior point. It has to be great, but how do we make it great? Beyond prayers, beyond being spiritual.
Everybody.
It's a collective responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard Mr. Tony Bata, is a collective responsibility. It's not just peculiar to certain persons. It's a responsibility of all of us. By working together and ensuring that good governance is basically what is implemented across all sectors. My name is Esther Wachuku. I sincerely do appreciate you guys being part of the conversation on the political spotlight. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, and on Tuesday, hopefully I intend to have former Minister of Information Lai Mohammed with us. And I don't want I don't want you guys to start judging anything. He has questions to answer. Okay, so I do hope that he'll avail himself with us on Tuesday. All right. Bye for now. Make sure that you have a wonderful weekend and obviously a wonderful week. See you tomorrow.